just like to see what you guys do and what this club is about. So.
My name is Lance Players, same thing. I'm actually interested in starting a business, so start getting learn more about it.
Berlin. I already own a business, so kind of improve that type of stuff and tag along with my husband.
Cool. What's your business do?
I own a personal training studio.
Right. So we're kind of a group of guys. Some of us own businesses, some of us don't. But we've all failed a fair amount, so we want to help anyone who wants to start anything fail less, and kind of help them along the way, and then kind of fund them once they convince us why we should help them. And kind of point them in the right direction. So we've got lots of fun there. Okay.
Yeah, so we're sort of in the same spot as you guys, sort of looking to make a business, have an idea. So we're going through one of the sort of like the grant proposal kind of pipelines of the club, that if you're here for over a term, you can get a chance to ask the society for some grant money, anywhere from $1,000 of tinkering money to just validate your idea, or all the way up to, I think it was like $3,500 for more like you have an idea and you're trying to get business exposure and you need advertising and stuff like that, or more product development. So personally, we're both ME students. I'm Alex Balo.
Yeah, I'm John Casey, also mechanical engineering student, senior level.
So we are taking a nanoscience class together with Professor Vaishnava in the physics department, and the class required us to do a sort of like a nanotechnology project. And both of us were really interested in graphene as like a new kind of emerging like nano kind of material, which is just a hexagonal lattice structure of carbon like lined up into a sheet kind of form, and it exhibits like pretty extraordinary properties of being like the strongest material like known to man, and has ridiculous electrical conductivity properties, great optical properties, and all this cool stuff. And it could basically like replace any materials that require like a high weight to or strength to weight ratio, and would be great for aircraft and aerospace and stuff like that to start up with. So we got sort of a lead by asking our professor how we can work with graphene, and he mentioned that we should look into actually making graphene by ourselves. And he said there are a couple different methods that we could do, and a few methods that have been sort of untried yet. Some of the methods right now involve a lot of high temperature furnaces that take carbon, like graphite, and it heats it up, and you inject a bunch of dangerous chemicals, and it strips the oxygen molecules away from the graphene sheets, and you get this graphene powder, which is pretty valuable in making like structural components, and you can make electronics out of it, and like really fast transistors and stuff. So
yeah, we're in the stages right now of testing our own process, validating it, measuring its effectiveness, measuring the purity level of the graphene that we're able to reduce.
So basically our whole sort of outline of our proposition to KES is to ask for just $1,000 in tinkering money to basically continue some of the experiments that we've been doing here at the school outside of our like a required schedule where a teacher has to be present, and we've been pretty limited in our work. We've done basically what we could have done in probably a day just by ourselves. We've stretched that out over like a month and a half of like an hour here, an hour there, trying to get lab access. So if we had our own materials and our own equipment, we could be way more productive and get better, more consistent results out. And that's what we're really trying to do, to validate our process and get quite a few hours of research under our belt before maybe we'll come back to the society again and ask for a larger grant to get us kicked off in another stage. So this is sort of our presentation for some of the basic items and equipment that we've been using currently in the labs in dealing with the reduction of graphene oxide with where we're using green tea right now, which is really high in antioxidants, and we're using this green tea basically to extract oxygen little molecules off the surface of the graphene little platelets, and using this kind of room temperature all organic process to replace some of the real energy intense processes that they use right now, which make the material so expensive. So we're trying to reduce the cost, reduce the energy input, and still make really good like laboratory grade like sample products. So I think this thing should really have.
Now you guys have control.
Okay. Yeah. So the company name so far is HExTech. So Alex and John Hexagonal Technologies, in reference to the hexagonal structure of the graphene crystal. So we're searching for a sustainable method to create like industrial scale graphene to really drive the cost down, so we can get this really cool super material used in a lot of applications. So yeah, so far this term, we're really in the beginning stages of just seeing if we can take this, it's basically a form of graphite, which is just like basically pencil lead, and we're just introducing green tea, kind of like a solution to it in like a special solvent to turn the low-cost graphite into graphene. So we have been using the physics department and chemistry department facilities to do some of the testing. And some of our materials, we've got chemistry lab is doing ultraviolet, they call it an assay where they take a known compound that will change a different, reflect a different wavelength of light when it gets reduced to a certain point, so the chemicals will attach onto like free oxygens and take it out of the solution and change the color. So we're looking at some of our samples that we've extracted, basically brewed our own tea, and we're getting that tested in the lab right now to see if we can actually have antioxidant to use. So it's all organic compounds, low energy process, and we use materials that you can find at like Walmart pretty much. So here's like, we took this picture like 2 days ago, or was it yesterday?
It was at least 2 days ago.
Yeah. Where we, like this stuff, the clear ones are the antioxidant solution with the ether in it that we were using as our solvent. So it's a really kind of a volatile sort of like alcohol type of material, but we're using that in all of our lab procedures to extract all the antioxidants. So we're adding some of the powder to the solution, and that's actually mixing right now. And we're going to check up on that tomorrow and get it tested to see if it extracted the oxygen and reduced it to graphene. So we'll see how that goes. But we're using some of the lab equipment right now, but we just could be a lot more efficient if we did this on our own time. And it would give us a chance to build a business around it, because we're not using any of the school's resources. It'd just be all of our own. So it opens up the ability for us to patent our own processes, and whatever we discover would be property of us instead of the labs. So yeah, like we mentioned, graphene is really a really hot topic right now, because I think the 2010 Nobel Prize for Physics went to graphene research into a few Russian scholars who noticed that you could take like pencil lead and keep on splitting it with Scotch tape until you got to 1 atom thick sheets of basically pencil lead, which was graphene, and they were like, well, we can actually make this stuff like in mass quantity. It's like kind of like on the horizon, and they noticed that it had really incredible like structural properties, 200 times stronger than steel. It's a better has better electron transfer than silicon for like high speed, high efficiency, like semiconducting devices. And it's really thin and nearly transparent, so it'd be great for touch screens and all sorts of really awesome, super thin screens and like flexible screens for TVs and laptops and stuff. So we're asking for $1,000 in tinkering money for a couple things. One big one would be the a ball mill, which is basically a bunch of ball bearings that turn into a drum, and they crush down items into really fine powders.
Yeah.
So this would be like a laboratory grade ball mill that wouldn't have any risk of contamination or anything, that we could use to grind our green tea samples and also our carbon samples. So it would have a good dual purpose. And we'd need a microscope that can give us a really good view and let us double check our sample sizes of our ground powders, so we can actually see how fine everything is. So when we scale up to like an industrial scale process, we can take everything and kind of just multiply it and maybe build a giant like 50-gallon drum kind of ball mill. And we also are looking to get some glassware, which would consist of different vials and different flasks that would be used for measuring. And that would go right along with the balance that would measure out to the gram, to the thousandth of a gram. So all of our reactions would be very tightly controlled. And all the remaining money would go to different caps and various like raw materials that we can get for pretty good cost. Like a 10-pound bag of green tea we found for like $20,
Right.
something like that. So we can shop around and get all the materials we need for
Tinkering supplies.
pretty good cost. So here's some pictures of some of the things we were looking at getting. The laboratory glassware set come with all sorts of flasks, mortar and pestle for hand grinding, and some pipettes and all sorts of good stuff. And United Nuclear is a company in Lansing that stocks a lot of laboratory equipment supplies. They have a really nice ball mill that we had in mind, but in the past couple days it recently went out of stock. So once it comes back in stock, we'll hop on it, and they've got a really good price for it.
Hey guys, on that, I don't know what is inside the drum and all that, and if it's different or whatever, take a look at Harbor Freight. Seriously, you can get something that looks very similar and probably performs the exact same function for fractions. of
It may
the-
look similar, but this is like a laboratory grade ball mill for like lab grade samples, so no contamination or
Yeah,
any
no,
sort of stuff
yeah.
like that.
Okay. Yep.
Because this is I've seen these for like up to like $500 for ones even smaller. So this is like the best price that I've seen out there. I've been looking for about a month or so before putting it in
Does
this.
it come with a motor on it, or?
Yeah, it plugs into the wall, just a 120 volt outlet.
And what's the dimension of the bars in there?
You can put whatever grinding media you want in there. It could be like ceramic balls or stainless steel or whatever you want. But it's also like good enough to make like high grade like rocket propellants if you want. It's like can really grind down to a micron size powder.
I actually work with mills at my co-op because we make coatings.
Oh really?
And yeah, just so you know, some of the media can get really expensive too. So I don't know if the media's gonna come with it.
Yeah, there is like ceramic media that you can put in there. It's like $10 for the ceramic, and I think it's 15 for the stainless steel. Up to it's not a significant fraction of the cost of the machine. Here's a super awesome lab balance that goes down to the thousandth of a gram. So it has a nice enclosed sort of area where you don't have to worry about any sort of like wind blowing or anything that would throw it off. And this is what we use in the labs right now for scaling out all of our sample sizes. So we have known mixed reactants and different. Or basically just so we know exactly what we're doing. As long as we record it, we have something to reference back. So we need something with a fairly high precision. So as Albert Einstein said, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simple. So we're trying to make the most cutting edge sort of awesome compound or material for structural and electrical properties using the simplest kind of off-the-shelf technique. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible so it can really get a chance to hop in the market and possibly make a significant amount of graphene. So you can use it, you can see it in your cars for like chassis or all sorts of cool stuff in the future.
You guys want to go back to your stuff?
Sure.
Anybody got any issues with that?
Yeah. Does anybody have any ideas? I mean, obviously we're not
So this is just
at the
like,
intimate level, but
yeah, this is all just basically would take a copy of exactly what we're working with now as far as all of our machines and stuff, so we know how to use all of this stuff, and it would just make it available to us all the time and
Yeah,
outside of the Kettering budget, so we wouldn't be bothering all the professors and stuff. And if we use Kettering materials up to a point, then any sort of intellectual property that we would discover or try to patent would be owned by Kettering. So we're trying to sort of get on our own feet. And I think the startup funding would be a really great sort of thing that's not directly connected to the school, but will still give us help to kind of come up with our own ideas.
Where are you guys planning to put the equipment at?
Right now, we're looking at possibly a equipment van. It's like a portable, like laboratory almost, that we could have like space all the time, just set aside and be able to do some of our, or at least hold all of our equipment. And then, because I know the balance really needs to be on a sturdy kind of area in order for that to work properly.
Reminds me of Breaking Bad.
Graphene laboratory in a van. But otherwise, I've back at home where I'll probably be taking some of the stuff. My dad has a welding shop, and he's got a bunch of like warehouse space, just kind of spread around this like big industrial complex. So I could borrow like a side bay or something and set up all the equipment in there.
So, we're going to take care of it, good. That's all.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, since you guys are ME, it seems like a topic that a chemical engineer would do. Like what? I mean, you guys, like what led you to take this on?
Well, it's mostly the.
I mean, it's almost like, it almost seems like
I think it was the
it's
idea
kind
of
of easy to do that.
it was kind of the idea of industrializing it. I think we had support from our professor and the chemistry department on kind of exactly the materials that we should use for the reduction method that we were trying to accomplish. And so, we thought of a way to say, okay, let's take those materials, find the cheapest way to get those materials, and then make it industrial mass producible. That's kind of our expertise.
Okay, so it really didn't take a lot of chemical engineering background to really do this then, right?
Well, once we have like the basic sort of like formula on like a laboratory scale, where we actually will be able to produce like a sellable like graphene powder, like the real research is going to be into taking that sort of like base unit of manufacturing, scaling that up, and selling machines that will do like the manufacturing. Like you had this, and here's like a graphene machine sort of deal. Because like my specialty is in like manufacturing and machine design, so it's basically scaling up like a batch process machine that hopefully will be like a continuous flow kind of thing.
I've also spent a lot of time working in the industrial automotive world, but still the same, making millions of cars a year, so the industrial background.
It's not to forget, guys, that engineering is just a forward-driven logic.
Yeah.
You don't solve problems, because you don't have to solve mechanical problems.
Yeah, it's really helpful to.
July, I'm not sure. I transferred to catering from Russia, from Moscow. I studied there 4 years. So first 2 years I studied well, then after 2 years I started my business, my own company in Moscow. It's web store. So yeah, after it I didn't visit school. I didn't have time to go to school. So yeah, I'm down in office all day and build company. So now I have 2 offices in Moscow and 2 warehouses. My company's web store. We sell product from beauty and beauty and health category. And we build now some manufacture some products now for beauty markets. It's like hair trolleys, stools, manicure tables, and other stuffs. So yeah, we just import some parts of these products from China and produce it in Moscow. We build stamps. We bought stamps from China. Big stamps. It's pretty expensive, so nobody now has in Moscow such stamps. So we are only single company that has such stamps. So yeah, and we can sell it now in Moscow and manipulate prices, because before us there were other companies who imported from other countries like China, Italy, and they sold it in any prices they wanted. So now we can control the price, make it lower, so and people can benefit from it. So yeah, and I built my company in my dorm. I started programming, me and 2 guys. They helped me to program it. So and after I started, I had my first orders. I didn't have any warehouse. I didn't have any office. So I just bought products, kept them in my dorm. I used it as warehouse. And yeah, after first 2 months, yeah, I have seen that I can't handle orders anymore. So I decided to take office, rent office, and rent warehouse. So yeah, I started from dorm and rented first office, then rented second office. 2 warehouses now we have. First warehouse is for big products, and second warehouse for electronic products. I have now 9 people except me, 9 employees. So yeah.
What are the projects that you're working on currently?
Yeah, now I'm working on other project. It's a pretty big project for it's like world mode. So I will combine all stores in the world, web stores in the world, to one platform. So yeah, you can go and see all products in the world from all warehouses, all web stores. You can see all prices for this product. It will be done automatically, so no one should to add their product, add their web store to the platform. So it will always automatically. It will be updated, so you can see actual prices and the difference this platform from other platforms. I want to make people evaluate more value of store, value of product, more than prices. So now it's almost a monopoly in the US, in the world. So Amazon is like 30% of took 30% of all US market. So because of prices, and nobody, small stores, small businesses can compete with them because of price. Nobody can compete with Amazon or with Walmart or with the other stores. So what do I want to do is to give chance to small stores to compete with them, with their services, with their good products. So yeah, people will go to this platform, see the rating of store, quality of product, recommendation of other people, other friends. So it will be easy to them to choose product, to choose the store, which is difficult now. So even there are many platforms like Google Shopping or other, but it's difficult now to go to choose the product and to choose the shop where to buy.
It ranks things based on quality.
Yeah.
Kind of
So we will see not just the price of products, we will see the quality of products. So because it's very easy to make the price cheaper, even small stores or other stores. You can make it cheaper the price of the product, and then eventually one will make it cheaper, the second one will make it cheaper, and then so, and the price will go down to the lowest price, and after it the quality of product will go down because it's impossible to make it cheaper. So somebody will fake it or will make some bad quality products. So everyone will lose from it because the price go down. So it's not the most valuable thing in the world. So the most valuable should be the value of product, the quality of product. So we should make the quality more better than now. So because of it, yeah, I started to make people think more about the value of things more than price. Because you can find cheaper products every day. It's possible to find cheaper, but it will be the best one. Yes.
Are you gonna call your website?
I'm not sure yet. I'm developing on it. It should be done in August. So I started it 4 months ago.
Sounds pretty awesome.
So you don't think eBay or like all the other big websites like that are gonna like
In eBay,
buy you out or anything?
it's different business model. In eBay, you have to upload your product, and in eBay everyone can sell their product. So and they don't they don't think about the value of product, value of how they sell it. They don't think about it. You just put your product and that's all.
So all the warehouses that you're accessing, would you have to have their consent to have their products on your website?
Yeah, it's possible to set it automatically in the inside of the all web store, in the CMS. They have
to want to find like
Oh, okay.
company. I go to it and say I want my products on there, and then I enter my website into his system. His system automatically uploads all of my products into his system.
Okay.
And yeah, in database you can see automatically do they have this product or not. Because in the warehouse or all web stores they have the database CMS. So you can see do they have this product now actually or they don't have. So
So like when Okay, so like when a store like uploads, when a store joins the site, are you setting it up to where they have to like show everything in their warehouse?
Yeah, we will take on the product which they have actually in their warehouse, not all product.
Right, 'cause, I mean, I would imagine though that, because some stores sell certain products more than they do like other products. Like some product, like let's say like a bottle of shampoo might be this much at Walmart, but at HEB it's at a higher price, so the consumer's going to want to buy that lower price bottle at Walmart. On the other hand, though, Walmart might be more expensive, like with food, though,
Yeah.
and HEB might be less expensive. So, I mean, don't you think that like maybe it might be better to like just showcase some of their cheaper products, because
No,
then it'll level out what's good, what's
we will show
expensive, and what's cheap.
we will show all products. So if you want to buy something or you type something, research something, I don't know, some bottle of Coca-Cola, and yeah, you see the prices. You see that maybe thousands of stores sold this Coke, and you can see the prices. Like you can see that Walmart sold it from $10 for $1, and somebody else sold it for $2. So you can choose which one you want, but
Why do you think somebody would go for the $2 Coke, though?
not everybody should go to $2. It depends. So you will make ratings according to the services, according to the other stuff, which they because maybe you will.
See, I think it would drive like coupon.
It's kind of based on how good their the rating system is based on how good their service is, how well they interact with you, how fast do they ship. Is the product always like they said it was going to be? If you want to go cheap, go to Amazon, go to eBay. But if you want good quality stuff, then you would go use their service instead, because you can find cheap stuff all over. But if you want like true good company interaction, that's what it's chasing.
It's giving you a comparison point. It's basically that compare thing that you always see that you can plug stuff in. It auto does that.
And it would be ranked by users.
Yeah.
So not the company itself, it's ranked by, oh, my interaction with this company was great, I will do business with these people again, and that's how it ranks them. So, okay, go ahead. You raise your hand.
So it sounds like it's like a Yelp mixed with like Amazon, like user-based. Like, all right, it was like a good rating here, like 10 out of 10. Then someone else is gonna give it like a 1 out of 10. It's like a rate my professor almost. Like it sounds like.
The rating will not be only according to rate, because first of all, we will not take all rating, all rates from all stores, because some stores, most of them, it's fake in all stores everywhere. They just put the ratings. But we have like 10 or more, 10, 15 platforms where you can fake your rates. So it will be 2 rates first. And second, it will not be only because of rate, but because of other qualities. For example, and because of shipping, they have Amazon maybe ship it in 5 days. Other store, local store, they can ship it in 2 days or 1 day. So we'll make it according to the contacts. Do they have live chat? Do they have consultants in their website? Do they have contact numbers? Is there sales department, is their return department, how friendly is their return policy, refund policy, or other stuff. So according to a lot of parameters, we make it not only grades of people.
Can you also put a length of warranty on the website?
Warranty? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about reviews? Like customer reviews? Kind of like Amazon does, but they still be there.
Reviews will be taken not from all stores. Automatically, it will be taken from 10, 15 platforms. Concurrent platforms to make it sure that it's real reviews.
will each customer be able to, like the default setting is that everything's on, but will each customer be able to update what settings? So like if they're, you know, concerned about shipping, price, and quality of product, they can select those three things as what it sorts by. So it'll reshuffle the sort. So you've got, you know, maybe 15 parameters, but they're really only concerned about these three.
Yeah.
And then they can get the best
It's
product
possible, yeah.
for their parameter set.
It's even possible to sort stores by all parameters, by price, by shipping, by services. By rating
Not
also.
have like the like, not just like the straight up sort, you know, sort by, you know, A to Z, this, that, and the other. Have more like here's a series of check boxes, look at these, and that's how it sorts it. Because the pull down kind of gives you a single, very limited search functionality and sort parameter.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm, okay,
you were same thing.
okay.
Are you gonna make it multifunctional? Like iPhone accessible, like Google Play? Are you gonna go through everything, or are you gonna try and get like rights to just a website?
What you mean? Like,
Like, are you gonna make like it an application like on your phone, so like you can have it everywhere and anywhere, or is it just gonna be like a website where you have to go like through Safari or through Google Chrome?
not through that application also. We are working on it now. We started recently, like 2 weeks ago.